Okay, so this video is about how music have been using the Frog and the online curriculum. So if I take you to our subject portal, you can see that it's changed quite a bit. On the front page here, we've got information about what's on here. So you've got things like the skills and the modules, but we've also added 3 extra tabs that you can see here, and they are for the Associated Board Theory exams. At the moment, that's got just grade 1 in it, but we're hoping to get grades 2 to 5 in there pretty soon. And it's just got loads of activities and information that students will need to take those exams. There's a whole set of tabs or things in here to do with learning instruments. So all of these offer different courses that you can do for guitar, for bass, for keyboard, that kind of thing. So we've put those on there for students to have a look at home. We've also got here online performances and workshops that students can access on a regular basis. So they're body percussion workshops that happen every day at 11 AM. So we've put those on there, plus there's some free musicals that students can stream. In terms of what we did before Easter, this is what we were looking at for sort of the year 7 work. So you can see that it's got the 3 tabs along here. Each one has a sort of a lesson's worth of work in it. So you've got things like word searches just to get them started. Then there's a quiz to do with the video, and then an activity to do at the end. If I click on the teachers though, you'll see that we didn't do the embedding of the sites because we didn't know how to do that. The same is for year 8 as well. So if I show you that one in the blues, you can see it's just 3 lessons with nothing in the teachers section, and the same for year 9, which is here. So they had 2 lessons to do before Easter, and again, they're just there and not embedded. So what we actually put on there was how to upload your work onto the school system so that they have saved their work somewhere. Post Easter, we've done things slightly differently. So the year 9s have got an extended project to do. So they've got to do some research and do some planning and sort of different activities to do with video game music. But for the year 7s and 8s, we've actually done the embedding of sites that John showed us. So if you look in here in the for teachers section, we've got all of the different sites, and then under the home learning section, if you click on one of those, there is an embedded site. And that's meant that instead of having to set students activities and give them lots and lots of information about where to find all their different all the different information and all the different sites, we've actually just been able to assign the sites, which has been brilliant. You can see in here, there's sort of information, there's a quiz that they can do, and then we've managed to get practical tasks and bits and pieces on there. So they've, in this case, they're able to do a file drop of their work. If you go on to another aspect of this though, you'll see that the practical task is actually to do some performance work, and we've found online places for them to go where they can turn their computer keyboard or their phone keyboard into a sort of musical keyboard. We've done exactly the same for year 8 as well. So if I take you on to year 8, so for rock and roll, you can see they've got the different sites embedded here. And then again, there's activities for them to do. In this case, it's sort of another practical activity, learning how to play, and there's lots of different options of music that they can try out. And again, there's that link to the online keyboard for them to have a go at. For Key Stage 4, in fact, actually, I'm going to take you through to something else first. So if I go back to the home page, you can see that here we've highlighted the 3 skills that students will study throughout their music education. And we've also split this down into the different elements. So you can see we've got the melody, the expression, rhythm, texture, and harmony. And we've amalgamated a few of them to make this a little bit easier. But what we have done, if I take you back into the year 7 work, the same is for year 8 as well, but you'll be able to see that along the top here there is the acronym MIRTH, and then we've highlighted the area that we're looking at. So in this case, they're looking at rhythm, and we're aiming to put that on all the work that they do. So if I take you to the music technology, this is Key Stage 4, and the same is for GCSE as well. We've started embedding sites here as well, which has been great for setting the work. Again, we've also included the mirth information so that students can see what it is that they're actually looking at. So you can see here for rock and roll, this is for the visa. They've got a quiz to do and bits and pieces. You can see again here, there's a file drop activity. So we've managed to get lots and lots of different bits and pieces in. In terms of how we've then used this, we've gone on, and for the mark books, we've set up our own mark books, which have been great. So for all our classes, we can see who's handed in what. Before the holidays, students were actually emailing me their work, so they won't necessarily have signed it off on here, but I've got to go through and tick off who's done what, because the vast majority of this should be ticked off. But you can see we've got quiz scores coming through, which is really, really useful. We've also got, in terms of sort of file drops and that kind of thing, so if I show you this one, you can see students are dropping in their files and text activities so that we can mark those as well.